Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. I have a few more things to do today to try to keep things from freezing. It got a little colder than we expected, a lot faster than we expected. We knew it was coming, but just not this quick. You know, the whole purpose of putting this piece of insulation down over the valve box here that's going to be used to feed this bed here next year isn't to protect it from freezing. It's to preserve the heat that's coming from the ground. Now, a lot of people get confused and think that cold is going to go into an area. Well, that's not what happens. The heat leaves an area. I have about 40 inches of insulation over the top of this valve body. And what happens is as the heat is leaving the ground, it's coming up. It can't leave through this area here where the insulation is as well. So it tends to trap the heat in. Well, around here, the frost depth is about 18 to 20 inches. This will help keep that valve box from freezing, except in the coldest of winters. Now, why do I have these bags of insulation here? Again, it's part of an approach to try to keep the heat within this structure. The bucket that I have on this end of the insulation has some dirt in it, and that helps hold down that end of the insulation. I don't want it to pick up when the wind is blowing. On the other end, I have a bag of compost. Here, there's 2 bags of compost. They're used to seal an opening that could allow air, hot air, warm air really, to come from the ground up. This isn't perfect. It isn't going to keep all the heat in the ground, but it will help quite a lot. The whole point is to try to keep that valve body from freezing. I mounted these drip irrigation heads using a union that can be used to remove that head when it's freezing. I've taken this out and it'll help keep this piece of PVC plastic from splitting in the cold. All the water is drained out of this pipe here. If we're lucky, it's not going to break. This drip irrigation head is held on by 2 unions. Now I've just disconnected this PVC valve structure here from the 2 lines, one that serves water and one that water goes into the bed. Later when we're ready, we'll take all this drip irrigation line off and then take this piece and put it away. This drip head is the most likely to break, and the reason being is there's a horizontal run between the source coming in and the drip irrigation head and the pipe that serves water to the bottom of this wicking bed. Unlike our last bed, this bed has a large pipe that goes down to flood the bottom of the wicking bed with water. All we need to do here is remove this union here. That's all there is to getting this irrigation system ready for the winter. Now I have some other things to do up against the house. It may be too late. We've had a lot of cold weather. If it's frozen, it's not going to thaw out until probably March or April. This water connection for the drip irrigation on this more or less square bed is a problem because I don't have connections on it that I can easily disconnect these pipes. Hopefully it isn't going to freeze this winter. This riser for this drip head just needs to be blown out. Now, because of the way the valves are set up underground for this line, it isn't a particular problem so long as it doesn't get really cold. By really cold, I mean we need to be down probably in the single digits, maybe even below zero for a couple of weeks. It should be fine until that happens.